Welcome to the Yvonne Candy Show. Motivational, inspirational, and just plain fun. Where celebrities check in and you can check out what's fresh in entertainment, business, health, finance, and more. It's all about your lifestyle. Here's your host, Yvonne Candy.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Yvonne Candy Show. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. at the Mansion in Voorhees, New Jersey, there will be an intimate affair with Mindy Barnett, given by Philly Current Magazine. There will be Q&As by Philadelphia CBS 3 media icon and veteran Pat Shiraki. You'll be served cocktails and dessert treats. Now, this is Susan G. Corman's affiliate event, and there is a small donation, which can also include Mindy's book. And I know you guys remember Mindy from being on a few weeks ago. Her book is called Intermission, and I love how she puts that Act 1 and Act 2, the first and second part of her life. So you have to read Act 1 in order to understand Act 2. So I'm not going to tell you any more about it. You can get reservations or you can get your tickets on Eventbrite. Now, on June the 30th, which I know is a little ways away, but I wanted to mention Carolyn Wilson's Magnify Your Essence, a women's empowerment network, is having their 5th annual conference at the Sugar House Casino in Philadelphia. And this is an all-day conference. The honoree will be rhythm and blues singer Melissa Morgan and also ex-CBS anchor and author Lisa Thomas Laurie will be speaking. You can also get those tickets on Eventbrite. Next week, we'll have a cosmetic dentist, Dr. Shima Abdullah. Dr. Abdullah is going to be talking about some of the latest trends in cosmetic dentistry, like Botox. And I never even thought that you use Botox in cosmetic dentistry, but that is something to be learned. This is the first time we've had 2 doctors in a row on the show. I mean, I think we're on a doctor roll or something. But if you ever were thinking about having plastic surgery or a cosmetic procedure, you want to hear my next guest. And you can also call in, share your experiences, ask questions, and also concerns that you may have about plastic surgery. The number is 888-329-3306, 888-329-3306. And we'll be getting to our next guest right after this message.
There are a ton of social networking websites, but one stands apart for a very special reason. This one saves lives. It's MatchingDonors.com. MatchingDonors.com links organ donors with people in need of kidney and other transplants. In the U.S., 19 people die each day waiting for an organ transplant, most of them for kidneys. If you've ever considered becoming a living organ donor, or if you're someone in need of an organ transplant, visit MatchingDonors.com, home of the greatest gift of all, the gift of life, MatchingDonors.com.
Just because you can't see lead paint doesn't mean it's not on your walls, doors, windows, or sills. Today, lead paint poisoning affects over 1 million children. What's more, just 3 granules of lead dust from old paint can poison your child. If your house was built before 1978 and you have kids 6 years old or younger or are pregnant, it's very important to know what to do. There are simple steps you can take to make your kids lead-free kids. Log on to leadfreekids.org or call 800-424-LEAD for more information. A message from the Coalition to End Childhood Lead Poisoning, the EPA, HUD, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Yvonne Candy Show, where it's all about your lifestyle.
And we are back with our guest today, board-certified plastic surgeon, Dr. Stephen L. Davis. Dr. Davis has been on Dr. Oz, the Doctors, Inside Edition, Today's Show, Good Morning America, Howard Stern, and more. And we are so excited to have him join us on the Yvonne Candy Show. So if you have any questions or concerns, or would like to share your story about cosmetic procedures or a plastic surgery, please call in 888-329-3306, 888-329-3306. And now our guest, Dr. Stephen L. Davis. Welcome to the show, Dr. Davis.
Hi, how you doing? How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thanks for calling in. I wanted to ask a few questions about plastic surgery that I know everybody wants to know. But before I
Okay.
do, I wanted to ask you. I saw where your title was cosmetic plastic surgeon, and that sort of confused me. I think it confused a lot of people. So why don't you tell us the difference between a cosmetic and a plastic surgeon? Also, what is reconstructive, which is pretty obvious, but tell us also what is that?
Huh. Oh, I'm sorry that sounds confusing because I'll explain a little bit about it. Plastic surgery really encompasses a lot of things that most people think about when they're thinking about beauty. But from a plastic surgeon's perspective, we really look at form and function as kind of going hand in hand. So in my training as a plastic and reconstructive surgeon, one of the things that we always are trying to do is to not only restore function or to restore, let's say, the way something is supposed to work, but we want to make sure that it also looks as beautiful as it can be. So, for instance, the word plasticos was where the word plastic surgery actually emanated from. And it's a Greek word that means form. And what we're trying to do is, for instance, someone who, let's say, years ago, one of the things that plastic surgeons did was to fix people that had their nose cut off.
Right.
Years and years and years ago, that would have been a way of, like, if you did something wrong in that community, they would cut your nose off. And plastic surgery kind of grew out of the fact that you were trying to restore or reconstruct something like a nose, or someone's finger or hand got cut off, and we'd have to learn how to put the hand back together. But it's not just good enough for it to work. We want it to really look like a hand or really look like a nose again.
Right.
So I think when I talk about it being cosmetic plastic surgery, I'm just saying that in my particular specialty now, and I've been practicing for almost 30 years, I've kind of designed my practice to go more towards the cosmetic realm of things. So I'm no longer doing cleft lip and palates and a lot of reconstructive type of procedures that people would have after motor vehicle accidents or things like that. It's kind of morphed, if you will, into more of a cosmetic nature.
Yes,
so
I
hope that kind of helps a little bit.
Yeah, it does. It does. I think cosmetic surgery or procedures really definitely is the way people are going today, unless, like you said, they do have an accident or, there is something that have to be reconstructed. It could be even a birth defect. But
correct.
Yeah. So
and many times those centers that deal with things. So, like years ago, when I was doing things like a cleft lip and palate or something like that, you really do need a team to be able to really do the appropriate thing for that patient, or let's say for that child. They're going to need an audiologist to help with their hearing. They're going to need a speech pathologist. They're going to need help. And I'm a guy that's basically in a community-based practice. Although I am chief of plastic surgery at the Jefferson Health Hospitals, it's more of a community-based private practice. And I think someone that really needs that kind of a reconstructive team, you really should be going more to a center that can deal with something like that.
So is it safe to say that it is cosmetic surgery or cosmetic procedure as the proper?
Yeah. So that was one of your other questions. It is both.
Okay.
So cosmetic surgery, again, one of the great terms that everybody loves throwing around right now is something called non-invasive or non-surgical cosmetic procedures. And they're very, 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 very popular. Let me tell you that is the number one procedure that people are really asking for these days, is something that could be done to make you look really wonderful without doing an actual surgical procedure. And if there is something that's out there like that, patients really want that. So, again, in the realm of what we say cosmetic plastic surgery, it really can span everything from a procedure that is surgical, let's say like a breast augmentation or a tummy tuck or liposuctioning, which would be surgical, to something that's more non-surgical, like a Botox. Yeah, I heard you mention Botox before.
Right,
Botox
right.
injections or fillers and things like that.
Sure, they have so many different type of fillers, and I don't know, what is it, Juvederm? I can't even remember all the names of these. They used to just have Botox, just like you used to hear, what is it, liposuction? So everybody was running to get liposuction. Now they have all of these things like Sonabello and Kai Bella? I don't know. Cool sculpting?
Yes.
I don't know the difference between one or the other. Maybe you can sort of share that with us.
Yeah, it's funny. It's very funny that you're saying this. It actually is a tremendous growth, if you will, in plastic surgery. So there are things that you can use that are injectables, and there are things that are being placed, if you will, in the skin to actually make things plumper or filled out. And those would be things like Juvederm and Restylane, and those are the terms that you're using there. Things like Botox are more like what we call neuromodulators, meaning we're actually using something to affect the way muscles react on the skin. So a perfect example for your listeners and everybody thinking about, what I'm talking about, when you're smiling and you have those crow's feet on the sides of your eyes, or if you go outside and it's really bright and sunny and you start to squint, those lines that you are seeing around your eyes that we call those crow's feet, they're being formed by muscles under your skin that are actually causing you to bunch up that skin. Botox works to relax those muscles so that you'll still be able to smile, you'll still be able to do your animation, but it won't cause that skin to bunch up so severely.
Okay, so Botox, you can say basically you can use as far as the muscle, but not as necessary as a filler.
It's not a filler.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
A filler would be something more like a Juvederm or Restylane, or those things are actually like little putty, if you will, and you're putting them into places that have lines and creases and things like that.
So can you use a combination of these?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So one of the things that we always talk about doing is being able to, we love doing it in combination, because what happens is we're able to make the best result happen by combining, stopping the muscles from actually squinching up the skin. And then if you have lines and wrinkles that are there without animating, so we call that a lot of times, those animation lines are things that you see after you start to do some sort of a smile or an animation. And when that happens, those are the lines that we go after with Botox. If those lines are there without animating, then we can actually fill those with some sort of a filler like Juvederm or Restylane. And that's why this becomes so interesting, because so many people love to do these things non-surgically. You can do it and then go to lunch.
Wow.
You can do it and go back to...
I like that. What is Flash, which you offer, Flash Liposuction? Are you there? Dr. Davis, can you hear me?
Yes.
What is Flash Liposuction?
Pardon me, I'm because I'm walking right into your studio.
Oh, you're coming in.
As we're
Yay!
speaking.
He made it.
I'm looking for... Send your person out to grab me. I'm walking right into the studio.
Well, Brill is on her way
that
out
way
there. Yay, Dr. Davis made it in. He was stuck in traffic, guys. So he was calling in today. And he should be here in just 1 second.
That's the fun thing about plastic surgery.
I have a lot of questions for Dr. Davis. Hi. Welcome to the show. Have a seat right there. Dr. Davis is going to be with us in 1 second, and you can...
Hi.
Yeah. Wow, he made it.
Let me tell you something. The plastic surgery is very cool, but the thing that's even cooler is that you can be in the operating room just a little while ago, and now I'm sitting right here talking to you, so I'm very happy.
Well, I'm going to need plastic surgery now.
You sure? Don't look like you do.
I had this frown line going, oh my God, is he going to make it? And
you look great.
Thank you. Thank you.
You look great.
That's why we had Dr. Davis call in, guys. He actually was supposed to be in the studio, so now he has made it.
I am here.
Call in with your questions, your
anything
concerns,
anybody
your
wants
stories.
To know.
Yeah, 888-329-3306. 888-329-3306. And we were talking about fillers, we were talking about Botox, we were talking about the different types of cosmetic procedures and surgery, which is, which I understand now from Dr. Davis, is completely appropriate to say cosmetic surgery and cosmetic procedures. So I have a question, Dr. Davis.
Yeah.
Tell us the difference, and I know we didn't talk about this. We talked about the fillers and the Botox, but what is the difference between the Bella and the Sona Bella, cool sculpting? What's the difference in all those things? And can we use them in combination together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a few of the terms that you used, Kybella and cool sculpting, are two ways of going after unwanted pockets of fat. So again, just like I was talking about with you before, the trend is trying to go more and more to a non-surgical approach to getting rid and fixing a lot of things cosmetically. One of the things that we've learned over the years is that unwanted pockets of fat happens to be one of the number one things that people come into the office to talk about. So something called Kybella was invented, and it literally is a way of dissolving pockets of fat. It's an injectable product. It takes about 4 weeks for it to work, but it literally will start to just make fat cells dissolve. And it is amazing how it works. Again, it's for small areas.
Right.
Cool sculpting is a way of freezing unwanted fat. And nowadays we can use it almost anywhere on the body because there are these applicators that almost look like little suction cup type of cups. And it gets clipped onto an area where you have this unwanted fat. And over the course of about 35 minutes, that fat gets frozen to such a degree that when you take this clamp off, it literally looks like a piece of frozen butter.
Wow. And can that be used over a large area?
It can. And that's where going to a board-certified plastic surgeon that can discern what's the most appropriate way for that person to actually use all these wonderful new products and devices and techniques. That's where I'm honestly, and one of your questions from before, which I didn't get a chance to answer appropriately, was that patients really should be seeking out someone that is a board-certified plastic surgeon, someone that can really give them the full array of what's available out there. Because many patients really do want to have the best ultimate result, and they want it immediately. They don't want to wait the 4 weeks that it may take for the Kybella to work. They don't want to wait the 4 weeks for the cool sculpting. They may want to have liposuctioning. That may involve having to have a little bit of anesthesia, having to have a little bit of a surgical procedure, but that is a definitive way of actually removing that fat, and it's a surgical procedure, and that's why having the consultation with this plastic surgeon will give you all that information. And that's why I'm here, so anybody that wants to call in and ask those kinds of questions, we can talk about that too.
And you answered my question, because I was going to ask you, what do you think about the salons and everything that's popping up and giving all this cosmetic surgery or cosmetic procedures, in other words, because I know they can't do surgery, but they have nurses or technicians, let's say.
Right. And it's a concern, and I think the patients really have to take it upon themselves a lot of times to really investigate. There happen to be a lot of good nurses and good people working at those institutions, at those salons, at those medi spas,
Right.
and they may do a very, very good job in the different things that they do. It's just important for the patient to really do their due diligence and make sure that they're comfortable with who that person is, what that person's training has been, and make sure that they really are getting the full scope, if you will, of what's available to really have something treated.
Right. One of the procedures that you offer is called flash liposuction.
Yeah.
What is that?
So it's something that I came up with a little while ago. It's an acronym that really stands for Fat Lipo Away in the same hour. So that's the flash. Because here's what happened. All of these grandiose ideas about how to get rid of fat were starting to come out. And it was cool sculpting, and there were other things that not cool sculpting like freezes the fat. Then there was another product that came out that like heats up the fat and makes it goes away.
Right.
So I was on the doctor's show, and one of the things I came up with was this thing called flash, because there are certain areas that are just little tiny pockets of fat that wouldn't it be great if you could just put a straw in that and suck that fat out in like a really quick like flash?
Right.
That's exactly what this is, believe it or
Wow.
not. It's a way of doing it's so low tech that I'm telling you, if you saw it, and if you Google me, you'll see me doing it live on the TV. Wow. It's literally the most low-tech thing you could possibly think of. So all these machines that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars and all this other stuff, we have that too. But somebody that comes in that says, listen, I've got this pocket of fat right by my knee or right by my, thigh.
Right.
I want it to be gone now. What can you do? I say, well, let me tell you what I can do. If you're all right with a little bit of local, I can inject a little bit of local like you would get at the dentist, like a Novocaine. Wow. And then I literally take something that looks just like a straw, but it's metal, and we attach it to a syringe. And literally in front of your eyes, I can liposuck that pocket of fat away by sucking it. So when you pull back the syringe, you create a suction. And that suction inside of that syringe actually allows me to take out the fat.
Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to have people like you on the show, because I learned a lot. And you guys, if you have any questions, again, call in 888-329-3306. And that's 888-329-3306. Let's talk about, well, first I wanted to ask you, we were just talking about some of the liposuction, like the flash. How long does those procedures last? And are they? Is there any do's and don'ts to take care of yourself?
Yeah. Boy, that's a good question. I'm so happy. Everyone usually comes around to asking something like, I'm happy. Liposuction in general, honestly, is permanent. If you really think about what I'm going to tell you. So if there's a pocket of fat that you want to get rid of, usually the best candidate for that operation is someone that's thinking about, I don't like the way there's a certain part of my body that kind of sticks out because it has a pocket of fat. Let's call it a saddlebag on the thigh, which is always a great one to talk about, or a love handle, or a lot of women call it a muffin top.
Right.
So they're not looking to lose a ton of weight. Right. They just don't like the way that fat looks when they put on a tight shirt or when they put on a tight pair of like yoga pants. So if I go in and liposuction or cool sculpt or Kybella, any of those things, that pocket of fat away, literally it's a permanent result. Wow. The amount of fat cells that were in that area are permanently gone. Now, there's always going to be some fat there, but it's not going to be in the overabundance that it was because I just sucked it out. The question that everybody asks, though, is, oh, wait a minute, I heard that fat comes back somewhere else.
Exactly.
So if you have liposuctioning on that love handle or that saddlebag, it's going to go somewhere else. And when I finally hear that, I love that, because if you really think about it, would that just happen magically, or would that person actually have to eat so much that they gain weight and they got fat elsewhere?
Yeah, that's my question.
That's exactly what happens.
Oh, okay.
It's not like magically you're going to wake up and you look like Quasimodo and you have like a hump on your back that's all because you had liposuction on your thigh, now you have one on your back. It doesn't work like that. What happens, and this generally speaking is across the board, someone will come in, they have saddlebags on their outside of their thighs, we'll liposuck them away, and they're so thrilled. They're looking in the mirror every day and they go, oh my God, they're gone. I'm going to have another piece of cheesecake. It's still not back. And before you know it, at the end of the year, they got fat somewhere else. The saddlebags are not there anymore, but they'll go, you know what? Ever since I had those saddlebags liposuctioned, my arms got so heavy. And if they stay on the scale, they probably gained about 20 pounds.
Wow.
So that's the thing. It's not like Jenny Craig. It's not like a diet plan. It's a way of literally removing unwanted pockets of fat, but you still have to exercise. You still have to eat properly. It's still that thing.
Well, tell us what's new for facial procedures.
Yeah.
Years ago, it was hard for women of color to get a lot of the laser procedures now. So tell us what's changed since then.
Well, I got to tell you that even up until I'd say a few years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, we really couldn't treat women of color, men of color, African American skin, Asian skin with a laser because we would actually end up causing more damage sometimes. So I happen to be so thrilled with this new laser that we have. It's called the Halo, Halo laser. And it's the only one of its kind that actually allows me to treat African American skin, Asian skin, because even my esthetician, who's this beautiful girl, happens to be an African-American girl who's always had some melasma. And melasma, for people listening, is a hyperpigmented areas of the skin. Many times women see it during pregnancy or during a change of life where they may get that mask of pregnancy. And all of a sudden there's areas that are darker than other areas were. And a great way to treat it would be to use some sort of a laser to go after that pigment. But before this Halo laser, we really couldn't because the laser only saw the darker color and you really got scared because you really thought you could even hyperpigment them worse. This laser allows us to use it on every color type of skin and on every area of the body. So we can use it on the décolleté, like the chest, the neck, hands, knees. It's an amazing, genius laser, and it does combine 2 different wavelengths simultaneously. So you're not only getting the benefit of like stabilizing pigment, but you're also getting rid of fine lines, wrinkles, and things like that. It's the greatest catch-all laser that's out there.
Well, Dr. Davis, we could talk about this forever, but we've ran out of time.
Oh, my God.
So tell everybody how they can get in contact with you. Website, telephone number, anything.
It's daviscps.com. It's Davis Cosmetic Plastic Surgery. It's 856-424-1700. We have an office in Cherry Hill, in Philadelphia, and also in Northfield, New Jersey.
Thank you so much, Dr. Davis, for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
And thank you guys for listening once again to the Yvonne Candy Show. Don't forget to visit us on social media, Yvonne Candy Radio and YvonneCandy.com. You know my motto, live the life you deserve.
Thanks for listening to the Yvonne Candy Show. Want to know more? Check out YvonneCandy.com.